Hello and welcome back to the Friendly Lens Jump tutorial. In the previous tutorial, we successfully connected the MetaMask with our application and logged in with our lens handle. In this tutorial, we will load our friends list from the lens handle and challenge them. Now to begin, open the game folder in the VS Code editor and create a new file named followers.tsx. In this file, we will write the logic to fetch the data from our lens handle. To declare the function followers and export it as a default, you can use the RFC or you can say React functional component shortcut template that is available in the React snippet VS Code extension. Once this function is created, it will accept props of type any. Now we will also import the useEffect hook from the React. As we have already discussed, this component will be a client component. Therefore, we have to declare the use client at the top of this file. Then below the import statement, you need to import two additional hooks, use profile followers and followers from the same lens protocol React web library. Once you have imported this hook, let's define some of the functions from this hook. We will receive the data of the followers followed by the state loading and then two additional parameters has more and next. So this use profile followers accepts the profile ID and a limit. Here the profile ID we will pass from the props that we have accepted in the followers component. So basically this function will fetch the followers of the profile ID that we are passing. Right now we won't be focusing on the pagination or loading all the followers. We will only load the first 50 followers or you can say the friends. So we can do that by giving one more parameter as a limit and its value will be 50. Now below here in the return HTML, let's load the followers that we have imported above. First declare the heading of the followers and then we should write the preparation logic with some conditions. If we get the followers, otherwise let's keep it as a default empty array and then we are just mapping it over. So in the map, we will be iterating through each follower's account, which will be the account, and here in the div, we are passing the key as the account's unique ID and some CSS styles. In the div here, we will be passing the avatar of the account. We will do that later because we have to handle some of the src URLs of the avatar. So let's keep it as commented right now. And below that, we will print the followers account handle name. And in front of that, we will give the button to challenge. So that when user clicks on the challenge, we can pass the challenge message to the account. We will see how to do that in later part of this tutorial. So that was it for this component. Now back to the game page. Let's import this newly created component. Before that, let's make this followers F as capital so that we don't get confused. Now once you have imported the followers, we have to also import the use active profile from the lens protocol React web library. With this, we can fetch the active user's profile and then we will pass it as a props to the followers so that then it will fetch the followers list from the active profile state. Now below here after the game over state, let's declare one more state, should load friends, and its corresponding set should load friends state function, which will be boolean and the default value will be false. After that, let's declare one more line to fetch the active profile from the user's active profile, which we have just imported. So we will import the data from the active profile, then the error from the profile error and loading state from the isActive profile loading. Once you have successfully defined all these parameters, let's load the active profile. So we will make a use of useEffect which will run whenever the active profile is changed, and in the useEffect, let's check if the active profile is loading or not. And if the active profile is not loaded, that means the user have not logged in our app. You can consider this active profile as the user in normal authentication process, or you can say the user session in simple terms. So if the user hasn't loaded, we have to pass the alert that please log in to play. Now once this is done, below here in the HTML, we have already written this game over condition. So we will modify this now. In this game over condition, before we were just passing the try again link, but now we have to pass the challenge friends option as well. And here in the challenge friends button, we have to declare an on-click event that we should set this set should load friends to true once clicked, and after that we have to write a logic that if the should load friends is set to true and active profile is not loading currently, then we will render the followers component. And in this followers component, we will be passing the current users, or you can say the current user's profile ID, so that the followers component then can fetch the followers from its profile ID. Now once this is done, make sure you are running the server and head back to the browser. Now let's connect the wallet and play the game. As you can see, once the game is over, we are getting two options. We can either challenge the friend or we can try again. Now let's click on the challenge the friends button, and once clicked, we are getting the followers list from our lens handle. So this is how it works. Now the next step will be the loading of avatar of the lens handle as well. So let's check what we are getting actually in the followers. So back to the VS Code, let's add one more use effect hook, and let's trigger this use effect hook once we have got the followers. And in the use effect hook, just console the followers list. Now back to the browser, open the console of the browser and play the game. Now click on the challenge friends button. Once you click on the challenge friends button, you can see in the console we have got the followers list. You can see that at first the loading followers is undefined because the followers hasn't been loaded yet. But using this use effect hook, which actually triggers when the followers state has been changed. So in the followers, you can see we have got an array of objects. Let's expand the first followers information, and as you can see we have wallet and its address. Also the default profile, and here we have lots of information about the user, like we are getting the handle from the wallet option and then the profile.handle. Now to fetch the avatar of the user, you can see we have a picture here, and in the original key we have the URL of the avatar. So we can pass this complete URL as an src to the image where we want to render this lens handle avatar. But there is a catch here, because if the avatar is one of your NFTs, then it might be a IPFS URL, right? So then we have to convert this IPFS in order to pass it as a src directly. So let's declare one more function as convert IPFS URLs, and this will accept two parameters. The first one will be the link of type string, and the second one will be the account of type follower. In this function, we will write the conditional logic that if we haven't got the link, then we will return the URL as it is. Otherwise, if we have the link, we have IPFS link, and we can detect it with the type of index of, which will search the string. And if we got the IPFS, let's add the try catch statement below. If we have error, let's return the link as it is and console the error. Or if everything goes well, let's return the newly created link with the base IPFS URL and then the hash, or you can say the location of your avatar file. So that was it. We have successfully handled the outer condition now. Now below here in the HTML, you just have to call this function and pass the link of the avatar we are getting from the lens. Now to check if it's working correctly, the process is same. Go to browser and play the game. Once the game is over, click on the challenge friends, and you can see we have successfully faced the avatar and the handle as well. So this was it for this tutorial, and in the next tutorial we will actually send the message with the link using the XMTP protocol. See you in the next tutorial.